All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So this is a viewer request video. We're going to look at Roblox, Square, which is now called Block, and then NNDM one more time. So look, I will be honest, I like these first two, all right? I remember Roblox being a really big hype stock, and dude, this thing was in the hundreds if I'm not mistaken. I'm not here to like look at that and give you $100 dreams, right? But I remember Roblox was like the hottest stock for like not, I mean, it was, I mean, you can see it, it was actually months, most of a year, right? So, I like knowing that about a stock, right? Like if it was popular before and it starts doing well, that's a good combination. And I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. So we'll talk a little bit more about that one soon, right? So Square, kind of the same thing. Like Square used to be the king, right? I think a little bit has changed, but nonetheless, if the charts are good, people know the company, that should bring volume and stuff, right? And then look, NNDM. I liked NNDM when I made my last video, and I'm not going to take that away. I still do. Excuse me. I think it hasn't moved up as much as a lot of us have wanted, and I think that's because, if I'm not mistaken, I like the weekly chart a lot more than the daily, and that really just meant, look, this is more about a couple weeks play than it is like my normal daily kind of goes, right? So we'll get into the details shortly, but real quick, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll talk about the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. I will manually draw some horizontal support and resistance lines, and then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video all over the internet, comment good or bad. Hey, if you disagree with me, look, we're just educated people sharing our thoughts, right? So, yeah, no, it's a safe place, I like to say. But anything you can do really does help me out with the YouTube algorithms. But look, for real, anything you can do, just even being here is beyond appreciated, all right? So let's get into it. And again, I'm liking Roblox, all right? I actually really am. I have no kids, so I don't really know much about the toy or the thing, but I know kids liked it. I know this was a really popular stock not that long ago. Again, I started the video kind of talking about the $100 price. I think it's less about the $100 or even more, actually, one whatever price. More about the fact that, dude, this thing was such a popular stock for almost a full year before it obviously did bad things, right? But good things happen over the 8 and 20, bad things happen under the 8 and 20. It happens to everyone, right? Even this one. And look, what we're happening here is we've tested the 200 and failed. We actually broke the 200, got over all the moving averages, stayed over the 8 and the 20. Once we lost them both, I'm assuming that was bad earnings, but again, whatever. Once we lost it both, it fell, and look, bounced like a champ, right? It knows how to use the lines when they're good, okay? Those are all really important things. What's happening now is pretty interesting because I would draw this, okay? Yeah, for sure, right? Like, we have tried to escape this. 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 It seems like we are escaping, okay? And look, all 5 lines, all 5 of the moving averages were really tight. And when that happened, it's not a very technical or fancy word, right? But I call it a moving average cluster, all right? These are clustered really tight with each other. And you basically go top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to, I'm glad not as low, I'm glad not as low, and it looks like we're taking off, right? And the cool thing is there is a little bit of a gap here, right? So ideally, we get up here relatively quickly, right? Like, that is the next expectation, is we're basically should be coming up to here. That's basically the peak of this, basically the peak of this. I would basically draw that. And then really, I guess you can draw that as well. Yeah, peak of this and peak of this. And then, yeah, you're going to start climbing again right from there. Like, that's some hard climbs from there, because obviously This is going to be the biggest thing. I'm kind of just basically taking the middle of that, right? Looks like it hit the bottom of this as well. So that was a good line. Basically hit the top of this. That was actually a pretty good line. And then really, I would just kind of take the top of this, which kind of hits the top of this. And you know what I mean? Like, this is where we're starting to make the bigger, sexier gaps that are more money, right? But I think it's going to be a little tight between here and 51. But again, we're talking about adding $10 on a stock that only has 4, right? Like, that's about a 20% swing right there, 25% swing, just rounding numbers, right? So it's not a bad thing at all. And I mean, look at what happens in this channel. Quick up, quick down, quick up, quick down, quick up, quick down, quick down, quick up, quick down. Hopefully quick up, right? Like, could be a quick up to this. And then again, what happens after this one? Kind of the same thing, a bunch of quick ups and downs. So we might actually get to 51 if we've actually escaped this. Otherwise, we're going to kind of come back in. But what I do like is MACD is looking good. What I do like is RSI is looking good. That's positive, that's diverging, that's diverging. Again, diverging, just fancy word for two lines going away from each other, right? I like that they're both going away, and I like that they're both green over red. I think I just wish volume was a little better. This volume, to me, doesn't scream we're escaping the moving averages. I want to see greens like that. You know what I mean? So hopefully we get some good volume. Look, these last 2 days have been over the 50 for sure. I just wanted this to be green as well, and actually I wanted this to be bigger than that day, so I could have said something like this and be like, okay, good, nice. Hopefully tomorrow is up here. Let's shoot for 21 million shares tomorrow. That would be really cool and make me believe Roblox is gonna run. This is a good weekly. This is a good weekly. The thing is, though, this is the first good weekly candle. I think next week is going to be the juicy week, if I had to guess. And look, 51 is pretty much where the 100 is. 51.44, 51.41. Look at that. How much better can you get there, right? Like, you know I'm not here to brag, but I love when that shit happens, right? So I think the immediate target's 54. I think it's going to be very difficult to break that line. Sorry, 51, not 54. But yeah, if we can break that, really good things will start to happen on Roblox for sure. Square, SQ, again, same thing. And let me just say it again. I've been saying this more and more. My viewers are good. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't watch YouTube videos for stock stuff. And I actually haven't done that in a really long time. Like, when I got good, I, did my own thing, right? I think I really assumed that not good traders would be watching my stuff, that I would be answering more like basic questions. And dude, I love doing that. I have no problem answering the simplest questions for real. But I can't believe how many okay, I'm not here to talk about my money. Like that's not what I'm here for. But for real, I've made more money on viewer requests than I ever would have dreamed about. All right, I'm more surprised at the money I've made on viewer requests than the fact that I've crossed so many viewer subscribers, for real. So look at my comments, man. Like, I say that so much, and like, this is another example. Look what just came to our plate as a team. We just broke all the moving averages. This is a positive MACD. That's a healthy 60 RSI. Man, this thing just needs a little bit of volume, because right as I zoomed in, this was an anomaly right here, unfortunately, right? It was a sell-off anomaly, which in a lot of ways is a good thing. But volume has been actually pretty pathetic on this stock. Man, I could see why, right? Obviously, as it was doing well, there was a lot more interest. There's been a lot less interest. It's actually been picking up a little bit, interestingly, as it's been going horizontal. I think if this goes up, really good things will happen. Sorry to zoom in and out so much like that. But look, I mean, we're basically running to this. This is what we're trying to get into. This whole... Excuse me, sorry, hard hiccup. This horizontal, and this isn't even much of a horizontal. I'll be honest with you, there's like maybe a little bit of something there. Seems to be the top there, top there, top there, top and bottom. I think this is a good line, but I don't think this is that hard a line. I think this is a harder line. It's basically the top of this, a real horizontal right here. Sorry, something with my Lenovo thing. A bit of a peak right here, a bit of a peak right here. This, I think, wants to go to 84. And look what happens if it breaks 84. It wants to come here to $1.08. And then after the $1.08 is up here. Look, don't have a $1.40 dream on 71. That's definitely a 2x potential. But like, you know, take it slow and steady. Let's shoot for 84. Let's see if we can break 84. We should run to 100 from there. You know what I mean? That's kind of the goal. I like square a lot. Again, break all the moving averages and run. Break the 8, go to the 20. Break the 20, go to the 50. Break those and go to these, right? And this is a hard little cluster. This should be very difficult to lose. I don't even think we're going to lose this up here, don't get me wrong, but we're about to do a real good golden cross right there. So there's a lot to like on this square chart on the daily. Look where we're at the weekly, and look one more time, basically right where the 100 is. Square and Roblox actually have a very interesting, and look, this actually sets up pretty nicely with the weekly. I like this chart. I like this chart a lot. Damn, my viewers are good, man. I love it. NNDM. Look, I like this chart. And again, there's actually nothing to be mad at here. We have never even lost the 8. We clearly went to the next line that I assumed. Look, knock on wood, I think I'm pretty good at drawing some horizontal lines, all right? I actually do give more weight to the moving averages. They are computer generated, right? So a computer's smarter than my, you know, my basic humanness, right? But look, once we break all the moving averages, there's nothing we can use but the lines we can draw. And yeah, it did what I expected, right? This is a hard line. I can see it just by looking at it, right? Use this to bounce, use this as support, use this to bounce. Again, bunch of stuff happening. This was a wall right here. Like, this ain't an easy line, all right? But hey, we've done really well as we've broken the moving averages, right? Volume's actually sustaining, and actually sustaining relatively healthy too, right? Like, this is a high RSI. It is. It's in the 80s. And yeah, I'm not surprised if it's going to cool down a little bit, but man, we're riding the 8 like a beast, all right? We are riding the 20 as it golden crosses, golden crosses, golden crosses. Those are good things, right? And again, what I remember was liking the weekly chart. And liking a weekly chart means it's going to take a couple weeks for things to happen. And yeah, that's what's happening here. This is moving like a weekly chart should. And basically, we should be coming to this 333, right? Like, it looks like we have confirmed that break. And I think 340, let's just round to 340. That seems realistic. What does 340 look like here? That's basically this thing right here. Yeah, that is actually this literally right here. I'll draw that. I mean, obviously I just learned something from the weekly, so I know it's a relatively important line. But what I basically took it from was actually kind of the tops of these, tops and bottoms of these, and then kind of the 50% candles of this. So for me, it was this 334. But yeah, this thing is still, like, again, like I said, this is still a healthy weekly. That looks like it wants to keep going, right? That is a positive. That is continually better. This just is a slower moving chart because it's the weekly chart. But yeah, we're climbing this green, 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 red, 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 green, green. Like, we should be coming here. That is where we should be going. And then the question is just going to be what's going to happen from here. But how high has this weekly gotten? Okay, there was definitely some high weeklies up here. It knows how to get high. Yeah, dude, just, I think this one's going to be a little bit more slow and steady than a lot of the fast-moving tickers I do cover, but I don't think that should take away from liking this or not. It's just, again, know what it is. It's not going to be a hard runner, but it should keep slow and steady running, and hopefully it just keeps you, this thing hasn't even bounced on the 8. It's never even touched it yet. You know what I mean? So there's plenty to like still. It's just not moving that fast. And look, the distance between these two lines was not that fast, right? So like it is actually still expectable, right? So nothing wrong with slow and steady. The turtle did do pretty well in that story, right? Don't forget that. So hey, I appreciate your time so much. Let me know if you disagree. Otherwise, as always, thank you.